Okay, let's keep reading Jane Doe and the Cradle of All Worlds. We are up to the second interlude. Okay, what's this chapter called? Not the Girl She Remembers. Time does strange things in the manor. Winifred told Violet before she climbed the sacred stairs, "Be patient with Jane. She will not have aged as we have aged. She will not have suffered as we have suffered. Nevertheless, she needs your help. Protect her." Violet locks the door now, takes a breath, turns and runs again. Her hands are shaking. Adrenaline, yes, but something else too. Winifred warned her about the first few kills, but she never said there would be so many. None of this feels real. The prison camp, the train, John, Roth, the cradle and the keys, seeing her again, those eyes again, this strange hero of her childhood, who left without saying goodbye. Jane Doe in the flesh. Hickory is behaving, but Violet cannot take any chances. Jane is slung over his shoulders, bandaged, hand-soaked red, dripping a trail. Winifred once told Violet that Jane would be the greatest weapon she would ever use, and the most dangerous. "Spill her blood," she said, "but only if you are ready to face the consequences." Violet will need to dress the wound properly sooner rather than later. "Any idea where we're going?" "Away." Hickory opens another door. "Anywhere, fast." They fled the train as soon as it had slowed enough to jump, just as the Leatherheads appeared, firing flares and rifles. All they can do now is run and hide. Violet prays the rooms are shifting, but she cannot forget the wild card, the traitor, the fiend. Even if they outrun the army, she will have to deal with Hickory. He may have fooled Jane, but Violet knows this trickster's secret. Knew it as soon as she saw him in the cage. Now she adjusts the coil of rope looped around her shoulders, a handy find from the engine carriage. She considers her options. In the end, there is only one. Detain and question, Winifred would say. Take control. Part 3. Waiting. Eyes open on the girl, leaning over me, wiping my cheeks with her sleeve. Blurry, fuzzy at the edges. When she speaks, it sounds like 3 people talking all at the same time. "Don't worry, we're off the train, we're safe." We're in a candle-lit room, a small chamber carpeted in black sand. I'm sweating and shivering, tongue tripping over words. Something about Roth taking Dad. How we need to find him, get him back, even though he said I'm a terrible singer and he never liked my songs. I try to move. The girl grabs my shoulders and gently holds me down. "Calm down," her voice echoes. "Try to relax. Hold this." She tucks the key into my hand, just like Winifred did once upon a time. I managed to untangle a sentence then, something about a door back home, I think. I'm not sure why. "Rest," the girl says, and I sink back into the soft, soft sand, back to my floating cocoon. The fate of Blue Haven. We enter the manor at will. We enter the manor unarmed. We enter the manor alone. The girl's picking at fingernails with her knife, sitting in the black sand that probably isn't supposed to be here. Just like the snow and the grass in the hungry goddamn forest. She glances up at me, and I quickly pretend to inspect a tear in my tunic because I've been staring at her for a while, and I'm sure of it now. She's unmistakably Violet. Her eyes, her chin, the way she chews her tongue when she concentrates. But then there's, well, everything else. Her height, hands and shoulders. The girl has boobs, for cripe's sake. "Before you passed out again," she says, "you told me to prove I'm me. Asked me what used to hang above our front door. The 3 laws. And if that doesn't convince you, I know you can't swim. You taught yourself to read and write, and you once made me promise not to tell anyone about the time my mum locked you out of the house, and you got stuck trying to climb back through the basement window because a stray dog started humping your leg. Oh, that's all I can say, like I've been told it's raining outside or something. I try to stand, but my legs are too wobbly. Take it easy, the girl who's Violet after all says. You need to rest. I swear and slip back to the sand. How long was I out? A few hours, maybe? She gouges a chunk of grit from her nails, sniffs at it and shrugs, flicks it away. Do you remember what happened? Do I remember derailing the train? No, not at all. I hold up my freshly bandaged hand. The sucker's definitely going to scar. I remember this, though. Yeah, I can't believe it's Violet says. Sorry about that. Ran out of options. Since when was slicing my hand open an option? What was I supposed to do? Take on Roth with a coal shovel and a gun? I cut you to give us some time, and it worked. We got away. The scene has played out in my head 100 times since I woke up. Dad in the carriage, falling behind, left behind, slung over Roth's shoulders as the train crashes. I lost him again. I can't believe I lost him again. Part of me wants to scream and shout and punch the walls, but if I start, I doubt I'll ever stop. Besides, I'm too weak. You mean some of us got away, I say. I still can't believe it's Violet finally stops picking at her nails. Your dad chose to stay behind, Jane. He knew he'd only slow us down, and he knows Roth will keep him alive so long as we're running around the manor, so long as we're a threat. She flips the knife, tucks it into one of her boots. We have the upper hand. We have the first key, not him. I hang my head. As much as it kills me, I know Giant Violet's right. Finding the second key is the most important thing now, getting to the cradle before Roth. It's the only way to stop him, to save Dad, to save everyone, including ourselves. And it isn't just another needle in a never-ending haystack situation anymore, either. It's a race against an army. No sign of him then. Roth? No. We ran a fair way. I locked every door behind us. The rooms shifted at least once. Violet points at the door behind me. That's locked. And we'll know someone's coming down any of those. She points at 3 dark arches across the room. If the corridors light up. I haven't got many bullets left, but I'm pretty good with a blade. I'm sure we could use the odd booby trap to our advantage too. And don't worry about Hickory. She nods at the glowing arch beside her. Got him tied up down there in front of another locked door. I roughed him up, but I think his ego's hurt more than any. Okay, what is it? What's wrong? Nothing. You look drunk. You're staring at me. Of course I'm staring at you. Listen to me. Look at you. You're all old. I'm not old. I'm pretty much the same age as me, exactly, which is a darn sight older than you were a few days ago. How is this even possible? Winifred said time can get all weird in the manor, but this is just... I plough my fingers into my knotted hair. I don't know what this is. And then it hits me. Oh, crap. Please don't tell me you've been away from Blue Haven for like 10 years. Okay, I won't. Violet pauses for effect. You've been gone 6. 6 years? Calm down, Jane. Calm down and stop repeating everything I say. It's irritating. I'll explain everything soon enough, but right now I really think you should rest and don't do that. Don't be like Winifred bloody Robin. If you really are Violet, then we're friends, right? So please tell me what happened back home after I left. Violet's expression softens. Strange to hear you call it home. I sink back into the wall. Yeah, I guess it is. Violet huffs out one of those here we go then breaths. The quake that struck during the festival, the night you left, it brought down a lot of homes, Jane. The fire that spread across the island destroyed even more. Broken stoves, they figured, scattered embers. Many lives were lost. If Winifred hadn't taken control... You mean she stopped Atlas? She beat him? Violet nods. Right after you left, down in the catacombs. Then she came and found me, rallied everyone to fight the fire. After we got it all under control, she told people they'd got it wrong all those years. Told them you were on our side, that you'd left the island to help us, and if we stuck together, if we trusted you, then everything would be okay. She tried to get them to trust me? Tried, Violet says, and succeeded. No way. They believed her. Some, yes. It didn't happen overnight. Atlas backed off for a few weeks, but when people realised the manor wasn't going to open again anytime soon, he started telling people you must have fled to an other world and kept cursing the island from there. He passed around orders to execute you on sight if you ever returned. He even tried to arrest Winifred and take over the museum, but we stopped him. Winifred locked him up. Wish I'd been there to see that. People were sick of listening to him, with you and John gone. Sorry, but I can't call him Charleston. And with the island still in danger, they found it harder and harder to blame you for everything. Winifred told us about her vision, her instructions from Nabucco. With Atlas out of the picture, we came together and set about rebuilding the island. What about your parents? How are they? A coldness passes over Violet now. She doesn't seem to know what to do with her hands. They kicked me out of home after you left. They what? Why? Because you stopped Atlas from killing me? That, and other reasons. I don't care, Violet says, but any fool could see she does. I moved into the museum with Winifred. I'm glad they kicked me out. They were horrible. Were? Oh no, Violet, you mean... No, they're alive. I just haven't spoken to them in years. Only seen them a couple of times from a distance. As you can imagine, they've never embraced the idea of believing in you. I bet they're driving Atlas crazy as we speak. Atlas, but I thought... Winifred couldn't keep him locked up forever. She banished him to the other side of the island along with Eric Jr., Peg, and about 100 others. Said if they were against you, they were against everything the manor stood for, even the makers themselves. Didn't take my parents long to join them. They stick to their side and we stick to ours. Crop yields are pretty much the only thing we share, and even that's got tense. Landslides wiped out a lot of farms in the quake, but we managed to salvage some. Things were going okay, but... Violet pauses a moment, unsure how to proceed. Blue Haven's dying, Jane. A few years ago, the crops started to dry up, and we can barely grow weeds, let alone food, and the sea life's all but vanished. People are starving. I don't know how long Winifred will be able to keep the peace. I think whatever's happening in here, whatever Roth's doing to the manor, it's catching up with our home, our world. All those weakened gateways, ours has started rotting away too. The gateway down in the catacombs is still sealed, but Winifred says it'd be starting to rot as well. I think the manor's trying to sustain itself by bleeding the other worlds dry. I can't believe all this. Yeah, I've kind of always hoped something bad would happen to Blue Haven one day, but to actually hear it, to know it's been happening for so many years, even though I've only been gone for, a few days? It's too surreal to take in. Are you okay, Jane? No, yeah, I guess. 6 years. I shake my head to scatter the questions cramming my brain. One refuses to budge. Violet, what are you doing here? Isn't it obvious, she says. I'm here to help you. Best laid plans. Turns out Winifred told Violet everything she told me the night I left, when they were heading off to fight the fire. Told her she'd need to help me one day, even gave me the exact date she would enter the manor. She had seen it all in her vision. Sure enough, 6 years later, Winifred walked Violet to the sacred stairs and said goodbye. It was a perilous climb. Apparently the stairs are in worse shape than ever these days. I've spent the last 6 years training to be your protector, Jane. Winifred taught me how to fight, how to shoot, how to survive. She even taught me how to drive. Drive, as in a car? There aren't any cars on Blue Haven. What did she teach you in? Violet shrugs. Theory, mainly, though she drilled me on archery. I'm deadly with a crossbow. I wanted to bring one in here with me, but, the second law. And Winifred never mentioned the cradle or the keys. First I heard about all of that was from your dad, Violet says. I'd heard the legend of the makers, of course, but John was right. The version we tell on Blue Haven is incomplete. I had no idea they left 3 keys behind. I never would have connected your key to the cradle. There must be billions of keys out there in the other worlds, and you can't blame Winifred for missing the connection. The flashes she saw down in the catacombs showed her all the things she had to do, her path alone, setting your quest in motion, training me. If she does somehow know what's going on in here, she never shared it with me. Did she say anything about other people coming inside? Is she coming to help us? Violet shakes her head. It was always going to be me, only me. Suddenly, she looks more grown up than ever. It weirds me out, but it makes me sad more than anything. The girl who used to run around playing tricks and burning caterpillars has turned into a teenager, an almost woman, and for me, it's been less than a week. I used to know everything about her. Now she's a stranger. Has the girl I used to know gone for food? Gone for good, rather? I felt the manor guiding me the moment I stepped inside, she says. Guiding me to you. Only took me a few hours to catch up. All I had to do was cut ahead and wait. So you got caught on purpose. Easier than tracking you from a distance. Why didn't you tell me all this stuff right away? It was obvious that you didn't trust Hickory, and I kept my face hidden because I figured you'd recognize me and freak out. Violet runs a hand through the sand, eyes shifting every way but mine. Besides, it was strange seeing you again. I mean, I always knew I'd see you again, but when I finally did, I don't know, it was weird. Shut up. I didn't say anything. I know. The mother of all awkward silences fills the room. So, I finally say, what now? You tell me, Violet says. You're the one with the key. I'm the one with the key. Okay. I ease myself up the wall and test my legs. So far, so good. Okay. I pace around the room, the black, soft sand between my toes. Okay. Stop saying that. Okay. I swing by the candlelit archway beside Violet. By the way, you didn't accidentally kill Hickory, did you? He's being awfully quiet down there. He's fine. What's the plan, Jane? Yes, a plan. All right. Dad said we need both keys to open the cradle, so the plan's simple. We find the second key, find and open the cradle, get our hands on the third key, then somehow use the power of the Makers to kill Roth and his army. Or at least, send them back to, what was it again? Arakan, wherever the hell they came from. We save the manor, we save the other worlds, get my dad and take him home, right? Right, Violet says. So how do we find the second key? And then I say it, the most unbelievably strange, fantastic, terrifying, in a good way sentence I've ever said in my whole life. We find my mum. I start pacing again, getting the story straight. Mum and Dad got separated after they found the cradle, each carrying one of the keys. She was lost in the manor, he was trapped on Blue Haven, but they found each other in the grip. On the train, Dad said Mum was hiding somewhere. He said something about a river. I couldn't catch it all. Something about waterfalls too, and I stop in my tracks. I think I've seen it. I think I know where she is. What? Violet stands up. Stands up too. How? In my nightmare. I've always had them, Violet, all sorts of bad dreams, but this one's been changing ever since I stepped in here, as if I'm remembering more. My parents were in the water with me, in the Cradle Sea, We were being swept towards the foundation stone. It's big, like an island, a small island though, and there were all these monsters under the water, the spectres, the Cradle Guardians. They were about to kill us. People don't usually remember things from when they're a baby, Yeah, well, people don't usually cause quakes when they freak out either. I've never seen my parents in the water before, or the foundation stone, or the spectres. It was all new. And then we were back outside the cradle. Mum and Dad were running, being chased by the two spectres that escaped, I guess. Or Roth, maybe both. I saw them get separated, but then the dream changed, and this new bit couldn't have been a memory because I wasn't with Dad or Mum. I stare at the wall. Images from the dream tug the backs of my eyes like pictures on strings, spinning, slowly slipping into place. I was flying through the manor. I saw the river. It wasn't connected to the Cradle Sea or anything. I think it's water from an other world pouring through another weakened gateway. I turned to Violet. I was flying down the river. I saw two big statues standing in the water. Then there were rapids and pillared halls filled like lakes and a huge waterfall. And I flew down into this massive hall that had more waterfalls in it. And then I shake my head, try to shuffle another picture into place. That was it. I hit the water and everything just went black. I don't tell her about hearing Mum's voice. That bit's just for me. And you're sure it wasn't just a dream? Violet says, made up. I know it sounds strange, but it felt, different. It wasn't nightmarish at all. It wasn't nice, all that water. Yuck. But now that I think about it, I reckon the manor's been showing it to me for a reason. It wanted me to see it. Violet doesn't look convinced. Look, I say, everyone always talks about the manor as if it's this living, breathing thing. The manor chooses who stays and who goes, draws you in, guides you. Is it so crazy to think it might want us to get to the cradle before Roth? That it might give us a nudge in the right damn direction? Trust me, Violet. I know it's a long shot, but I bet you my mum's hiding in that hall or of waterfalls with the second key, in a cave or a secret passage or something. The manor could be keeping her alive, keeping her young like Hickory. Suddenly, I'm sure of it. My mum is alive. I reach out to hold Violet's shoulder in a reassuring way, but it feels weird, so I kind of shove her instead. She isn't impressed. Come on, I say. It's something, right? She folds her arms just like Mini Violet. The same old sign she doesn't like what she's hearing. But then she puffs her breath through her nostrils. The same old sign she's giving in. You're right. Don't suppose you know how to find this river, though? No, I say, but I know someone who might. I nod at the glowing corridor. Violet's face falls. You want to take Hickory? He's been to the river before, told me so before we wandered into the forest. But we can't trust him. He's a lying, thieving jagweed, I know. And believe me, I'd rather ditch the jerk and never see him again for the rest of my life. But the fact remains, Jane, he isn't who you think he is. She's baiting me with this. There's something I've missed. Wait a second. Do you know him? Of course I know him. Everybody knows him. He really didn't look familiar to you at all. There are statues of him all around Blue Haven, or at least there used to be. The school was even named after him. Violet watches me, waiting for that spark of recognition. He's Hickory Dawes, Jane, the first person to enter the manor over 2,000 years ago.